join. Nag-start na ako, hindi ko na nakikita yung Hintayin ko yung iba konti pa lang yung naka-join eh.
Ma'am, ano po yung code?
Loading pa, ma'am.
Ito yung ZUA space HBC.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Have you used this peer deck in your other subjects?
Hindi pa po, ma'am.
Hindi po.
Okay. Okay, paglaruan natin po. So habang nag-join yung iba, umpisahan ko na magtatalak dito. Okay lang ba? Walang nagsasalita. Hindi
Yes,
ganun.
ma'am.
Yes,
Ay,
ma'am.
pwede na po.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright. So the dig and carry model is probably the most popular method in schools and educational environments. Sabi nga nila, Walter Dick at saka si Luke Carey, sumama na rin si James Carey, na nag-develop nitong comprehensive and detailed process in 1970. Yung mali yata yung nasa ano natin. Nasa module natin because I took that dun sa medyo latest na mga materials. Kaya may latest yung nakalagay doon. Pero in 1978, meron silang book na sinulat. Ang title daw ng book ay The Systematic Design of Instruction. In-introduce nila dyan yung dig and carry model.
Putol-putol po.
Hello? Hello? Can you still hear me?
Putol-putol po, ma'am.
Putol-putol po. Off na lang po muna sana yung ibang ano.
Yung iba mag-off na lang ng cam? Yeah, please. And it is composed of 10 components. Composed of components. It is composed of these components na makikita ninyo ito sa ating presentation. But before we proceed, I'd like to give 2 things that you already know about this topic. Okay, I can see some of you giving their responses. May nag-delete pa ng kanyang response sign na bumalik. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some of you said a learner-centered model, goal and some of the systematic steps, improve instruction, improve instructor, okay, nice. Impact of technology, creating instructional materials, designing instruction, it is focused on the learning context, improving the instruction as well as the instructor, focuses on summative assessment and the learner-centered model, determines learning goal, interactive process, guide in making, tuloy mo kung sino ka mang nagtatype, guide in making, instruct, food for context. Okay. I have 17 responses out of 27 students na naka-join sa ating peer deck. Right? So, I can see some of you ay nagbasa naman pala ng ating lesson. So, balik na ulit tayo sa ating model. So, the first one, dito daw sa ating model, ay to identify instructional goal. So, in this step, we describe what the learners or are expected to perform, anong ini-expect natin kaya nilang gawin at the end of our instruction. So remember, they should, or this should describe what the learner should perform, not what we teachers are going to do. So dito sa identifying instructional goals, yung magagawa ng estudyante at hindi yung gagawin nating mga teachers. Okay? And the next one is to conduct instructional analysis. So we identify the performance gap. And naman yung performance gap na nabanggit na din natin kanina. Yun yung present performance compared to the desired performance. Yung gap, yun yung tinatawag. So in this step, we will know what the learners need to learn in order for him or her to perform and eventually to accomplish the task needed to achieve the desired performance. Okay? And next, nandito na tayo sa third one, identify entry behavior. So when we we learned in the previous models that the general characteristic of the learners may include yung skills niya, yung kanyang experiences, and other basic information about the learners, which we can use in the delivery of our lessons. So very important yung input ng entry behavior. Okay. Sabi dun sa nabasa ko, the information should have enough detail to allow us teachers to identify the correct starting point of the instruction so that they do not waste time reviewing the materials they already know and does not omit content they need to know. So the goal is to start the learning process at a level they already understand. So you can scaffold the instruction by providing the structure that they can build upon. So ang laki din ng responsibility natin dito sa pag-identify pa lang ng entry behavior. The fourth step is to write performance objectives. Okay. And sabi dun sa definition na nabasa ko kanina sa internet, sabi daw ay performance objectives create a vision of what learners should be doing after they master the instruction. So they are descriptions of what you want learners to be able to exhibit before you consider them competent. Objectives describe an intended result of instruction rather than the process of instruction itself. So, ang objective ay nakapokus sa outputs. Okay? And then the fifth step is to develop assessment instrument. Okay? Nakalagay. Excuse me. Tests and assessments are made to guarantee that our students meet the requirements in performing new skills. And, and these are also used to find out if the students show progress or improvement in achieving the performance objectives during the learning process. Okay, nakakapag-assess din tayo ng learning process if maayos nating magagawa yung ating evaluation or assessment instruments. Kung nagawa ba natin ng ayos o hindi, maayos or hindi. Okay, the next one is to develop instructional strategy. So, ano po ang ginagawa natin kapag nandyan tayo sa step na yan, step 6? We make a plan of the various learning activities that will enhance the abilities and knowledge of our learners. So we try to ensure na maayos na ang pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga planned activities natin sa klase. Okay? The seventh step is to develop and select instructional materials. Ito na naman sa pag-select ng instructional materials. So with the plan that we have created doon sa previews, we now develop the materials needed to execute the plan in the previous step. So we learned sa mga previous models that we can use the available materials or we can modify kung may available na at alam natin pwede pang mapaganda para mas matuto ang bata, or we can make new materials kung alam natin na yung available pala ay hindi na sasagot or tutugon or makaka-achieve ng ating objective. So, aalisin na yon, iibahin na ang gagawin natin. We create new material. And then, we design and conduct formative evaluation. Okay? Formative. Bakit informative ang nakalagay dito sa akin? We develop and conduct formative evaluation. I-check nyo na lang yan, yung part na yan. Okay? Formative assessment or evaluation or assessment refers to the ongoing process students and teachers are engaged in. Dito yung minomonitor natin yung student learning and provide ongoing feedback that we can use to improve our teaching. Sa part naman ng students to improve their learning. Kaya importante rin na may mga formative assessment. So kung may mga binibigay ang teachers ninyo ng mga activities and they tell you na you need to do this or to do those things, gawin nyo. Sometimes those are ungraded, pero sabi nga, ginagawa yan for the students to improve their learning. And sometimes, tinitingnan din niya, I should say most of the time, tinitingnan din nating mga teachers yan para makita natin paano pa natin may improve yung ating teaching. Okay? And then the next one is to design and conduct summative evaluation. So we've learned that the goal of summative assessment is to evaluate student learning at the end of an instructional unit. So, compare it against some standards. Examples would be yung inyong mga midterm exams, yung inyong mga final project or final paper na pinapagawa ng mga teachers ninyo. Those are summative evaluation. At yung last ay revise instructions, sabi nga. So we use the data from the two types of evaluation, yung formative at saka summative, to examine the validity of the instructional material and revise kung kailangan po natin. So if needed, mag-revise lang tayo, hindi naman masamang mag-revise. Okay? So, are there questions for that simple presentation? Ako na lang po ang magtatanong. What is the first step in the dig and carry model? Ay, nakita nyo na po. What is the first step? May sasagutan sa gilid. Pakipindot nyo lang. Okay. I can see your answers here dito sa aking screen. 12, 13, 14, 15. 15, 16 responses out of 30 students who are in my peer deck. Sagot lang kayo mga anak, huwag mahiyang sumagot. Kahit mali, may sumagot nga ng mali. Pero may sumasagot ng tama o ang dami. Puro correct ang sagot. Sumagot na kayo bago ko pa-ilak. Alright, pumapasok ang mga sagot. Hindi kaya. 5 na lang ang hinihintay kong sagot. May nagbawi ng sagot niya. Alright, hindi ko na yata mahintay yung 4. Let's proceed to the next question. The data from the 2 types of evaluation can be used to examine the validity of instructional material. Do you agree or do you disagree? Bilis nilang sumagot, oh. Alright, I got 25 responses out of 31 students. May 6. Ay, nawala pala yung isa. 25 lang. Alright. Okay. How did it go?